The locked front door, opened from the inside, and a 9-year-old gone into the rain. This is the disappearance of Asha Degree. Asha Degree was 9 years old. A third grader at Falston Elementary School in Cleveland County, North Carolina, she lived with her family in a small house on Oakcrest Drive in Shelby, a quiet town in the foothills west of Charlotte. She shared a bedroom with her older brother, O'Brien. Her father, Harold, worked. Her mother, Aquila, kept the household close. By every account of the people who knew her, Asha Degree was a careful, obedient child. The kind who did not break rules. The kind who was afraid of the dark and afraid of dogs and afraid of storms. She loved school. She ran track for her age group and she kept her ribbons. Teachers described a shy girl who did her homework, who did not wander, who did not talk to strangers. On the evening of February 13, 2000, her basketball team had lost a game, and Asha had taken the loss hard. The family came home. The children went to bed. Harold worked a night shift and looked in on his son and daughter when he returned in the early hours, and both were where they were supposed to be, asleep, accounted for, the house quiet around them. Outside, a winter storm was moving across the Carolinas. Rain came down in sheets. The temperature hovered just above freezing, and the wind drove the water sideways across the dark fields and the two-lane highways that thread through that part of Cleveland County. It was the kind of night that kept grown men indoors. The kind of night a child afraid of thunder should have pulled the blanket over her head and waited for morning. Sometime after 2:30 a.m. on February 14, 2000, Asha Degree got out of bed. She dressed herself. She packed some of her things. And she walked out of that house alone into the worst weather of the year. Nobody saw her leave. Nobody heard the door. 2 motorists saw her. That is the hard fact at the center of everything. Between roughly 3:45 and 4:15 on the morning of February 14, 2000, drivers on North Carolina Highway 18 reported a small figure walking south along the shoulder. A child, alone, in the rain on a road with no sidewalk, more than a mile from the house on Oakcrest Drive. One driver slowed. She thought she was seeing things. She turned her vehicle around to come back for the girl, and by the time she returned, Asha Degree had left the roadside and moved toward a stand of trees near a business called Turner's Upholstery. She went into the dark, away from the headlights, away from help. That is the last confirmed sighting of Asha Degree, a 9-year-old afraid of dogs and storms and the dark, walking willingly into all three. The family did not know she was gone until morning when O'Brien woke and his sister's bed was empty. Aquila Degree called for her. The house was searched, then the yard, then the road. By full daylight on February 14, 2000, deputies from the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office were walking the ditches along Highway 18 in a cold drizzle, and the search for Asha Degree had begun. What they found came in pieces, across months. A day later, searchers turned up candy wrappers, a pencil, a marker, and a Mickey Mouse hairband near the tree line where she had vanished. Small things, a child's things. Investigators believe she had sheltered there briefly before moving on. Then nothing. For 18 months, nothing. On August 3, 2001, construction workers near Morganton in Burke County found a backpack wrapped in black plastic and buried at a site off Highway 18, 26 miles from where Asha Degree was last seen. Inside were her belongings, but also items the family said were not hers. A new Kids on the Block shirt, a doctor. Seuss book, McElligot's Pool, stamped as discarded from a school library that was not Asha's. Witnesses had also described a dark green early 1970s car, possibly a Lincoln or a Thunderbird in the area that night. Investigators weighed the obvious theory first. A runaway, leaving after a hard loss. But a runaway does not get buried 26 miles away. One theory holds that Asha Degree was lured from her bed by someone she trusted. The questions are what remain. They sit at the center of everything investigators have failed to close in more than 2 decades. Start with the backpack. A 9-year-old afraid of the dark does not walk to Morganton. She does not dig a hole off Highway 18 and wrap her own belongings in black plastic and bury them 26 miles from the tree line where she vanished. Somebody did that. Investigators have never said who. One theory holds that whoever buried it knew Asha Degree, knew what she carried, and waited 18 months before the ground gave it up. Then the items that were not hers. A new Kids on the Block shirt. The Dr. Seuss book stamped from a library Asha Degree never attended. How those things came to rest beside a third grader's things is a question with no answer on the record. And the car. The dark green sedan, a Lincoln or a Thunderbird seen on the road that night. Never found. Never tied to a name made public. The hardest question is the first one. Why a careful, obedient child who feared storms and dogs in the dark dressed herself after 2:30 a.m. and walked into all 3. One theory holds she was lured by someone she trusted. The family has suggested as much. Nobody has proven it. The case of Asha Degree remains open. The FBI works it alongside the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office, and a reward has stood for years for information that leads to an answer. Harold and Aquila Degree never stopped. They have marked the anniversaries. They have asked, again and again, for the one person who knows something to come forward. In recent years, the disappearance of Asha Degree has drawn podcasts, documentary segments, and renewed coverage, and investigators have signaled that the file is active, not cold. Still, no charge, no arrest made public, no grave, a locked front door opened from the inside. A child who walked toward the headlights, then away from them into the trees. Somewhere, someone knows which way she went. Thank you for listening. If this story kept you up, subscribe to Grim Facts for a new nightmare, and tell me in the comments, do you believe it?